Hello everyone. Today we're going to dive deep into the epic legend of King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table. This story lies at the crossroads of history and mythology, captivating people from the Middle Ages to the present day. From the wizard Merlin, Queen Guinevere, the legendary sword Excalibur, to the Battle of Camlan, let's explore the allure of the legendary hero King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table. Was King Arthur a real person, or is he merely a figure of legend? To answer this question, we need to look back at the Historia Brittonum, written in the 9th century. This document portrays Arthur as a hero who defeated the Saxons in 12 battles. However, this account contains many later additions and alterations, leaving the question of whether Arthur was a historical figure or a mythical hero still open to debate. On the other hand, Morte d'Arthur, written by Sir Thomas Malory in the 15th century, is considered the definitive work on the Arthurian legend. This text details Arthur's life, the adventures of the Knights of the Round Table, and the eventual fall of the kingdom. Malory's work has become the foundation for the Arthurian legend as it is known today, shaping much of the imagery and stories we associate with King Arthur. Next, let's explore the figure of Merlin, who guided Arthur's destiny. Merlin is a shadowy presence who supported Arthur from his birth through his rise as king. His character draws from Celtic mythology and Druidic traditions, portrayed as a prophet, sorcerer, and political advisor. Merlin's most significant role came when he orchestrated the union of Arthur's father, Uther Pendragon, and Lady Igraine. According to legend, Merlin used magic to disguise Uther as Igraine's husband, allowing Uther to deceive her and conceive Arthur. This event is said to have taken place at Tintagel Castle, a site that still stands in the picturesque landscape of Cornwall, deeply intertwined with the Arthurian legend. In the Arthurian legend, perhaps the most iconic item is Excalibur. This sword symbolizes King Arthur's legitimacy and royal authority, reflecting his charisma and leadership. There are two origins for Excalibur in the legend. One is that it was given to Arthur by the Lady of the Lake, and the other is that Arthur proved his rightful claim to the throne by pulling the sword from a stone. These two stories emphasize Arthur's destiny and special status. Excalibur is not just a weapon, it is a sacred symbol of Arthur's power and justice, central to his story. Another crucial element in the Arthurian legend is the forbidden love between Queen Guinevere and Lancelot. Guinevere is Arthur's loyal queen, but her romantic involvement with his most trusted knight Lancelot becomes a pivotal turning point in the story. This love affair symbolizes the internal collapse of Arthur's kingdom, as the relationship between Lancelot and Guinevere creates a rift among the Knights of the Round Table. In Morte d'Arthur, this love triangle shakes Arthur's loyalty and trust, ultimately leading to the tragic downfall of the kingdom. One of the most significant themes in the Arthurian legend is the quest for the Holy Grail. The Grail is deeply connected with Christian mysticism, symbolizing eternal life and divine grace. Many of the Knights of the Round Table set out on a journey to find this sacred cup. Galahad in particular is known as the only knight pure enough and faithful enough to reach the Grail. His story is portrayed as the ultimate embodiment of faith, purity, and the chivalric spirit, representing the ideals of Arthur's kingdom. However, this quest also highlights the trials the knights face and the limitations of human nature, revealing both the light and shadow of Arthur's realm. And finally, the story of King Arthur reaches its climax at the Battle of Camlan. This battle takes place between King Arthur and his nephew Mordred, and is depicted in Morte d'Arthur as the key event that triggers the downfall of the kingdom. In the battle, Arthur is mortally wounded, but he summons his remaining strength to defeat Mordred. However, the cost is great, and the kingdom begins to unravel. After the battle, Arthur is taken to the mystical island of Avalon to heal. Avalon is associated with the Celtic concept of the afterlife, or paradise, where it is said Arthur will sleep until he awakens to save Britain once more. The prophecy that Arthur will return as the once and future king signifies that he is not merely a hero of the past, but a symbol of hope and redemption for the future. The legend of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table is a grand story where historical fact and myth are intricately intertwined. the wizard Merlin, Queen Guinevere, the legendary sword Excalibur, and the Battle of Camlan. All of these elements come together to create a narrative that continues to captivate us today. How did you find today's video? Which part of the story resonated with you the most? Please share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe and like for more deep dives into legends and history. See you in the next video.